Welcome back to HashiCorp Live. We're just hanging out on Twitch, live coding, making a fool of ourselves. Clearly.
Yes, that part.
Welcome to Getting into Consul with Cole and Rosemary, both of us developer advocates at HashiCorp. The premise of this was Cole wanted to learn Consul, and somehow I was deemed as someone with vague knowledge of what Consul does. So here we are, trying to learn it, looking up documentation. We appreciate all the help we can get. So if you've got the answers and you got tips, just put them in the chat. We appreciate it. I think I should do a dramatic recap of the last part. Correct, Cole?
Yes. Make sure you add the drama to it. That's important.
Okay. Last time on Getting into Consul Part 1 with Cole and Rosemary, we configured one server and one client. We struggled with Terraform, gave up on Terraform, logged right into the virtual machine with SSH, and somehow managed to debug a lot of interesting Linux bash scripts in the process. We also discovered that when you install Consul with Linux, you get the Consul configurations, rather than copying and pasting systemd files yourself. We rejoiced. Then we managed to somehow configure one server, one client, get them connected together, access the Consul UI. We had some struggles with load balancers not recreating, courtesy of some tangled webs in Terraform. Cole managed to learn that uncommenting Terraform deletes the Terraform infrastructure resource, Terraform managed infrastructure resource, and recommenting it would create it. How dramatic. Much rejoicing, load balancers were resolved, and we did actually manage to access the Consul UI. So yay. As far as I know, Cole, you added more, right? So the dramatic recap was not so dramatic, but you also added more outside of our sad recording, which I did paste in chat.
Yes, I did. So one of the things we ran into last time was cloud auto join. So cloud auto join meaning you stand up the servers and using tags, AWS tagging, they can discover each other through the describe instances API, on the EC2 describe instances API, and join the Consul cluster together without you having to manually copy and paste IPs. The reason I wanted to get that in was, well, first off, I was annoyed that I didn't get it in the middle of the stream. But the second reason was so that anyone who wants to follow along, you guys can just come to here, go to part 2, clone the repo and just do and follow the instructions, but do a Terraform apply and have all of this stood up without having to dive in and do what we did and manually edit Linux bash scripts. So I did want to just walk through all of those changes that I did make. First, for the part 1 ones in the script here, I went ahead and made the scripts do everything that we did during the stream, just in a bash script here. And this was the part to do the cloud auto join. We're tagging everything, and since we've tagged everything, we can use those tags. And in the background, this is how all of these, how the instances connect to each other. So that was the main addition behind the scenes, was this script and that functionality, so that you can get started there. But to prepare for today, we wanted to go ahead and get stuff stood up, a few more things stood up, so that we're not, just waiting on stuff that's not relevant to the stream. And in the diagram here, what that was is adding another client, giving it a separate name, one for web, which we're going to put a equivalent of a web service on, one for API that we're going to put an API service on, but also another application load balancer to point to the web service so that we can access it from the web. That's it. That's all that we did.
Oh, so much. We've done so much. So now my question to you, did cloud auto join make it easier for you?
Oh yeah, absolutely. The thing that needed to happen was the creation of an IAM role. The quick one with only one permission here, slapping it on, just so you know how simple it is. One IAM role for EC2 describe instances, slap it on the instances themselves, and then just note the project tags in the script with this one line here, and it's that automagical. And everything gets up and running, working.
Magic. Okay. So Cole, today we're going to tackle a problem that you say is a long-awaited one for you. And basically, the problem is that You wanted to put two services somewhere and communicate with one service to another using Consul. Is that the problem that you have aspired to for I don't know how long, but I heard you say that this was a problem that you had been trying to solve for a while.
Yeah, because the first time you hear about Consul and service discovery in general, it's this utopia where you can have many machines, and on those many machines put many different applications, and Consul will just make sure that they all talk to get to each other happily. And so this being this step towards that utopia, that's what I'm excited to see.
Okay. So today we are going to use Consul Service Discovery in order to get the web service, the web service, yes, the web service communicating with the API service. They're both on different clients, which is why when Cole showed the diagram, we had one virtual machine for web and one virtual machine for API. Yes, excellent. So we do have to explain a couple things, though. We're not configuring service mesh. Consul has service mesh capability. We're not there yet. What we're going to do right now is service discovery out of the box. So that's Consul. If you try to use Consul as a DNS authority, it will resolve to the IP address of, let's say, the API, right? We are not going to add any proxies. We're trying to do this very, very carefully and build it up very gradually. So if you're tuning in, just know that we're going to get to the service mesh piece, but Cole being new to Consul, we don't want to introduce more things into the mix right now. So we're just going to go with this very, 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 very foundational piece of functionality, and that is, well, service discovery. Any questions on service discovery, Cole?
I bet you this would probably be a good one if you're coming into this. Tell me the difference between service discovery and service mesh.
Yes. So as I would compare the differences in that service discovery is a capability you need, right? A service mesh is a layer. So service discovery is the idea that you need to register and understand where your services are, right? So you're mapping the identity of the service to a locale on the network, to an identity on the network. However, service mesh is a layer on top of that, right? It's a layer that not only does the mapping, but it's a layer that allows you to control traffic management, control network policy between services. So it's even taking it a step further. So service discovery is one piece that you need. It's usually in the form of DNS. And then service mesh is a layer on top of that with additional capabilities, including more advanced traffic shaping, some interesting things that you can do with mimicking and funneling traffic to different places, and network policy in the case of Consul. There's other configurations you can use too, but there's.
So for my own understanding then, service discovery then just sounds like a piece of the service mesh.
Yes, that's correct.
Gotcha. Which is involved in discovering services, whereas the service mesh is all of the other things involved with connecting those services, regulating them, and so on.
Yes. That's
all right.
Excellent. Okay, sorry, there is a fly, so if anybody sees me like swatting at things, I'm sorry. All right. There's a fly. Okay, so today we're going to be using a fake service. It's literally called fake service. Big shout out to Nick Jackson, who developed this service that is a way to mimic other services connecting to each other. And I know it's kind of weird. You're going to be like, why? The thing is that example services, right, with multiple tiers, right? If you have something like microservices, it doesn't have to be microservices. We're just doing this as the sake of example. But with microservices, you might have a series of them connected to each other. So payments might contact, owners, which might contact, some transaction, some other transaction, or inventory services. So all of those chain together or depend on each other. And similarly, most services depend on another service for something else. Fake service mimics that. So for any number of services that you need, in our example, we need web, which is a front end, and API, which is an API, we're using fake service for both to mimic both, right? And each of them we can configure with certain messages. We can configure them with certain, little toggles. It will be useful later for some of the service mesh stuff, but for now, fake service just gives us some flexibility without us necessarily getting into the code base, right? So if you're interested, I dropped a link in the chat to the code base for fake service, as well as all the configurations. We're going to be a little bit of the configuration that we're digging into today, but just know there's not too much code functionally that you need to know about in this service. Most of it is just to return a hello world, a 200, a 400, a 500, etc. So it's just a way for us to introduce a service and actually have some flexibility with its response. But it's not like there's no functionality really in it.
So it kind of reminds me of like when you're in testing, how you have stubs and mocks and different things. Is that a good comparison?
Yeah, it's very similar. I would say it's a live mock. I guess that's the better way to do it. Yeah, it's a live mock. Cool. And so what we're doing is we're live mocking a web service and we're live mocking an API service. Web connects to API.
Yeah, cool.
We don't have a database, so we're not going to go there.
And it looks like most of the configuration happens through environment variables. So we pass them in, and then fake service becomes a fake service that we can interact with.
Yep,
right?
That's correct.
Cool.
Okay.
Nice.
So that's fake service. So first step we're going to do, we are going to configure the API service on Consul Client API virtual machine.
So I should probably go get into that.
Yes. For those who are curious, we are SSHing into the machine. We are not using Boundary. We are using a plain old Bastion. The reason why we're not using Boundary is that I think in this series it would introduce a couple complexities into the system. Although, hey, we would be open to doing it. But we're going into the machine so that we can make mutable changes to to basically all of the services as well. And then after the stream, we port them back into user data in Terraform. This way, we actually get a sense of how we need to change it, why we need to change it if something is wrong, rather than waiting for Terraform to destroy and recreate virtual machines every single, 10 minutes or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, we're in.
We are in. So the first step is that we must install fake service. A binary for fake service. We have no applications on this machine. So we need to install the application. I believe if you go to the releases page of fake service, you have not Docker images, but the binaries. Yes.
Nice.
Ha ha ha. And
so we need the Linux AMD 64.
Yep. Okay. Yay.
Unzip is not on this? Jeez,
I suppose not. I suppose not. Well then, meanwhile, how lovely.
So for this fake service, just as a question here, what have you, how much realistic functionality do you think it'll give us to really test Consul? Is it enough for us to demonstrate everything we need to, or
Oh yeah, yeah, it's great. That's why I really like it. And again, huge kudos to Nick for developing it. You're able to show tracing. You can show retries, circuit breaking. There are a lot of different things you can show with fake service. So this will take us a long way without us necessarily reproducing a whole new application for it. Oh yes, sudo. You can see it is executable, right? It's not.
Oh, I didn't even
check. Yeah. Check that you can execute it. Well,
yeah, I don't think that I can. Let's see.
Sudo chmod, right? So.
Yeah, let me just see what. I cannot.
Oh, yes. So sudo chmod plus x. So I guess we're going to have to add this to the script.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah,
be fine.
to put
We'll
that
be
in.
fine. Yeah.
Okay. Now the question is, can we actually run it? How do we go about running this?
If you could go back, yeah, and then scroll down. So the amazing thing about fake service is that you can pass a bunch of environment variables to it, and those environment variables will ultimately be the ones that will control its functionality. So right now we only need 2, maybe 3. Let's just say 3 things. We need message, name, and listen address.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Before that, let me make sure that this is actually accessible here, because I would assume that typing which fake service would return the actual path to it, but it is not. So what am I doing incorrectly here?
Well, is your path including user local bin? Can you echo your path?
That is a good question. Let's see. It does not look like it. So I guess I could put it, I guess I should do an export then, right?
Well, no, before you do that, just echo $path. You want to run chmod on plus, okay, so yes, thank you, chat. You want to run chmod plus x on user local bin fake service, not user local bin.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh yeah, we can increase the pebcat counter. I don't know, is that an increase in the pebcat counter? I'm going to increase it.
Oh, there we go. That was it. Cool. Thank you.
Thank you, Blake. Okay. Let me increase the pebcat counter just out of because I can. And it's fun.
What's the counter? Huh?
The pebcat counter. How many problems exist between chair, keyboard, and chair?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I am in walking problem, so.
It's okay. It's fine. It's fine. Everything is fine. Nothing is broken. Okay. So that we have. So you can run fake service by passing those environment variables to it. So let's just, for the sake of demonstration, let's just set the name equals API. You can just say name equals API.
Okay. Do we need to, do we need to export it to the global thing, or just define it in the call to fake service?
You can just say name equals API in lowercase and then type fake dash service. So you can just pass the variable in.
Yeah.
We don't have to export it yet. We can just, yeah. Yep, there you go. So you'll notice it starts some stuff and it starts up a service on the listen, what you'll see listen address, which is 0009090. So we don't have to do this because I think it's better to just put it in a systemd file. And that way we can manage it as a background process. Because while we could add a little background ampersand at the end, that's not great for us just because we can't debug it. We can't tell what's going on. So let's create a systemd file for it first, and then we can run it, and then I'll curl to it. But that's really all that's needed for fake service. You can control a lot more, but for now, that's pretty much all we want.
Cool. So just for my clarification, we're going to be making, when we call to this, we're going to need to do message, name, listen address, and we're going to first here make a systemd configuration file so that the service can just start up by itself in the background.
Precisely.
Cool. All right. Where are we making this service file again? Do you not have these
yeah, it's etc systemd system, and then we can call it so system, and then we'll call it api.service. Just call it api.service.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
I do not remember all of the headers here.
Okay. Do you prefer me to send you the headers via Slack or what?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. Just because we don't need like a million things. That's just too much. Okay. Removing things. Sorry, everyone. This way, Cole, you don't have to sit and watch Cole and I stare at systemd file for too long.
Yeah. It's one of those configuration files and formats that, what is it? You make 100 times, but I still haven't committed all of them to memory.
I think there's two things that if you can do this from memory, I will just be like, you are the expert at things. The first is AWS IAM policies. The second is a systemd service file.
There we go.
Okay. So a couple bits, a couple little pieces here, and this was like kind of the hard-coded way of doing the environment variables, but whatever. There's not much that we're going to change in here. But this is the API service. That's the description. The environment variables, remember how we passed the name, which is API. There's also a second environment variable that you can pass to fake service called message, and that just returns a nice message that just says API. You can change it and you can say, hi, I'm API service. That's also valid. You can change it to whatever you would like.
Do you want me to change it to that?
Yeah, change it to hi, I'm API service.
Okay.
Or just say, hi, API. I am API.
Hi.
That's good.
Yeah. API.
Yay. Okay. And then exec start, I think you put it in user local bin.
Yep.
Yeah. Exec stop, just sleep before it does it. And that's all we need for now.
Cool.
We're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure both of these, after and wanted by, are just to control once it's all up and once the network is running, right?
Yep, that's correct.
Yeah. Cool. All right, we got that.
All right.
So now we need to start it.
Yep. Here we go.
Did we just call it API?
Yep, we just called it API because it just picks it up as API.service, right? Yes. So we'll see. Let's see.
Look at that. There you go.
Woohoo.
It's going.
Okay, so now, okay, we'll see what happens. If you curl localhost 9090, because fake service by default starts on it binds to all ports 9090. But if you go curl localhost 9090, you should see.
Hi, I am API.
Yes. Hi, I am API. And API.
Wow, this was a lot easier to get fake service up and running than I thought it'd be.
I know, right?
I see. Yeah. Yeah. Because you come over to here and you see like all these environment variables, and I'm like, all right. But yeah, it's nice how simple and how few you have to put in to get it going.
This is why we're using fake service, just because I don't want to get into the whole like application behaves this way. Really, I just need something that comes up and then something that calls something else. So we're just going to keep it on 9090. We'll just pretend our API is on 9090. Sounds good, Cole? Good. Okay.
It does.
All right. Yes. Excellent. All right. So what is step 2 on our list now that we have fake service running? Oh,
I believe it's to do it on the web, right?
Let's finish up API first. We need to register API to console.
Oh, that's right. We should probably do that. Yeah.
Okay. So if you want services to communicate to each other via console, right, in terms of service discovery. Now, I could go and I could curl to the IP address because I bound the API service to all interfaces. I could go to the private IP address, curl to the IP address, and then 9090, but it's not great, right? Because then now I have to know that IP address. I'd like to use console to resolve the IP address of the service. That would be just kind of nice to have. Rather than me knowing it's 10.255.3.1.2, I just want console to know it, so I just call console instead, and console gives me the IP address of API. So let's try to convert that. What's up?
And I just want to reiterate, and that is what we talked about last time, the movement from network identity to service identity. Go from IP Correct. To, yeah, cool.
Yes. Before we get started, could you open the console UI?
Yes, I could. I actually have it up right here.
Oh, yay. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you go to nodes, right, you'll notice that the nodes that have the IP-10.255, so those are the host names of the clients and also the server. The idea is that we want to be able to see a similar thing but for services, right? So We're looking at nodes right now, but we should see a similar thing for services.
Should I? Oh, you mean right over here?
Yeah, but we don't have that right now,
Cool.
so it's fine.
Nice.
Okay.
Back we go.
Back we go. Okay, so step one, we need to figure out how to register a service, which I perpetually forget all the time. So we're going to need help from chat. Okay, I'm going to drop a link in chat. It is this console service discovery document. It has something called a service definition, and we are going to examine said service definition and try to configure it for ourselves.
Cool. Can I have that link as well?
Oh. I'll find it. All right, we're getting there.
Perfect. So I can just open it up in here and we can take a look at it.
Yes.
So this is the area, this service definition is what we're going to be creating, right?
Yep.
All right. Wow, this keeps going.
I know.
I assume that's because this is just an example for some of the specific,
Yes, we're going to abbreviate a few things, and then we'll figure out what is going on, right? Yes, it does have all the things. Okay, so let's just chat for a second. Do you prefer JSON or do you prefer HCL in your declaration?
You're funny.
No, I'm actually serious.
Oh, I mean, I prefer HCL if I can use it.
Okay. All right, good. So yeah, let's do HCL then. I think there's I believe an HCL tab for some of the ones at the bottom in this page.
Okay.
So there are a couple. Yes. So there are a couple fields for those who are tuning in. There's two ways you can do this. You can do this by HCL. You can also do this by JSON. Your choice. Yeah. A lot of people are saying HCL. That is that's I can't blame them. That is very important to know. So I prefer HCL as well because JSON I never get the quotes right and parsing's just hard. So I just don't bother. But anyway, all right. So the first thing we're going to do is create this service definition, and we're going to do it for API. So let's just get the bare basics. You can copy that HCL, and then we'll pull out some stuff. Make sure that we don't need it.
So I got it.
Okay, go back to API VM.
I am there.
Okay. Do you remember where our console config directory is?
That's the Consul D, maybe?
Yeah.
Yep. Is that it?
Okay. Yeah, there we are. Okay. So let's create, if you could create a file in etc console.d and name it api.hcl. Okay. So the neat part with console is that you can restart the agent with these configurations. So every time you restart the client, this configuration will get picked up as well. As Charlie in chat pointed out, we're doing service registration the manual way. If you're using some other tools like Nomad, it just does it for you, so you don't have to worry about doing this. But we're doing this, basically the difficult way. Sorry, everybody.
Perfect. Which is what I want to see anyways.
Yeah, exactly. And so what this is doing is you can, under the hood, you can register this by API, right? So if you register the service and you don't want to restart console, for example, you could register it by API, or you can do this way, which is just when console client comes up and you have one service per machine for, as the sake of example, you might just have a list of services that you register. You can do it more immutably. We're just going to do it this way. For me, I think it makes a little bit more sense for our use case, especially because we're creating and recreating these virtual machines constantly. It just doesn't really make much sense to do like an API registration. So in this case, what's up?
Yeah. So this file right here, this is going to be how we communicate to console what it should be looking for.
Precisely.
Right? And since we've made the system D thing for the API servers to come up, this will be what it uses to figure out where that is. And what you've just said is that this is just one way to do it, but we could also do it just through the console API and through other ways as well.
Exactly. Yep.
Cool.
Excellent summary. Thank you, Cole. Okay.
I was just asking questions, but yeah, I meant to do that.
Yeah, you're great. You're great with the summaries. I like the summaries. Okay, so let's first, the name is not Redis. We pulled this example. The port is not 9090. Let's check what tagged addresses is in the configuration.
Additional addresses.
Yes. Tagged addresses, additional addresses. I don't think we have them.
Okay. Does it only
At
have
least
one
I don't
right
think
now,
we
right?
need them right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Just remove them for now.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think we need them because we already have the node registered to console, so I don't think we need them.
Yeah.
But
So is
who
this the
knows?
bare minimum we need then?
Yes. Yes. So we don't need that so that's pretty much it.
Really? No
yeah. Well, we could tag it. If you want, you could tag it API. I mean, could tag it if you want. But we'll get to more. There's more stuff we can add. But for now, let's just do this.
Yeah.
Simple.
If this is the bare minimum, that's what I wanted to see. So
Yes.
that's perfect. Okay.
Okay. Save that. Oh. Did you sudo?
Oh, no, I did not. Okay. Well, bad me. Let me.
It's okay. I mean, it's 4 lines.
Yeah. My bad.
Tags are okay. So we're getting some chatter. Tags are nice for instance-specific access. Yes, it is. I think we may configure those later. Oh, sudo t.
All right, there we go.
Oh, interesting. Okay. All right. Now restart console.
Okay. So is that what needs to happen for it to detect these other configuration files?
Yeah. So you can do a reload, I believe. Where again, we're doing this hard way. So console. There is a reload capability. Someone's gonna tell me I'm wrong. Yeah, console reload. Brain. Oof. Console reload will allow you to do it. I'll drop it in there. But I mean, for us, we're just gonna restart it. Why not?
Yeah, I already did it anyways.
Yeah, you already did it, so too late. Okay, so the way that you can tell if it registered is console. Well, there's console members. It's alive. Console catalog services. Services. Let's see. Is it thinking? Did it work?
You can do it, console. Come on.
Well, that's new.
Yeah.
Did you open 8300? I know we did change that.
Would that matter for it pinging itself locally? But I think I did. Let me double check here in the security group for the clients.
I thought we added that the last time.
Yeah, we added it for the server to allow the 8301 traffic. But for locally, does it need that to contact itself?
It does need to have it open, I believe.
Okay. Well, that's no problem. Do you want me to change that now?
Console catalog services will pull the list from the servers. Yes. So we'll pull it. Yeah.
Okay. So
that's why we need it. Yeah.
I
thought we added it. I swore we added it the last time.
Yeah, we did for the 8301 to the server so that the servers could talk to the clients, but we didn't add it for the client. So
yay! All right.
Real quick.
Well, good thing we have infrastructure as code, so we apply it.
Yeah, let me just for my own clarification here. We need 80. It needs to be able to contact 8300 on the server, right?
Yes.
Yes. So that's what I need to. So I need to come up here and open
client to server.
Yeah.
It's so client can communicate to server.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. So reading from Blake. Thank you. Console catalog services will pull the list from the servers. And then second follow-up, curl localhost 8500 v1 agent services will return the list of services registered against the local agent, which is good to know.
Oh, cool. Can we try that again?
Yeah,
what was
we can try
again?
that. Yeah, curl localhost 8500 /v1 /agent /services.
Nice.
Look, API exists.
Yay.
Well, it's
Is
kind of
JQ
passive.
on
We don't
here?
really. Yeah.
It is
No.
not. We'll do that some other time. Okay. So what's a good description for what this port is? Because obviously those are LAN traffic, but more specifically, this is just for more clarity here for a note.
Okay. Yeah, so 8300 is the RPC port from client to server. And then 8301, I'm referencing our handy dandy. 8301 is LAN gossip between the clients. So somehow we added LAN gossip between the clients, but not client 8300 to server. I don't know what we did.
Gossip. So this right now is on this rule is on the server as allowing traffic from the client to the server in 8301. Does this even need to be here then?
That needs to allow 8301 between the clients. So I think you just need to allow them between the clients.
So this one, okay. So this one needs to not be for the server at all. Okay, yeah. Cool. Let me let's real quick. Let's just do this 8300 one first, and then I'll come back and I'll change that just so we're positive that this is the correct change for the current problem.
Yes, let's do that.
Alrighty. I should probably
hint from the chat, which I appreciate from all the chat. You can do / pretty, and we'll pretty print the JSON for you.
Wait, say that again?
If you issue the API command and you do / ?
Where?
Right there in your terminal.
Literally right here.
Yep, ? Pretty.
Mm-hmm. That'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Nice.
Wow.
I didn't believe you.
I need the sound effects on this channel.
I was
Dang.
A /? There's no way that's gonna do it. But yeah. Okay.
Yeah. We learned something new. There we are. See? This is why we have other people helping us learn this.
1 second. I have to re-authenticate here. Okay. Now let's try this again. So this is going to open up 8300 from client
just for the
server.
recording, for those who are looking at the / and being like, why? It's so we escape it. Just to make sure we escape it. Yeah.
Wait, did I not save it? I bet you I didn't save. No, I did. Of course I didn't.
What are you saving?
I terraformed apply before I actually saved the changes here. So terraform was just like, I don't know what you're talking about. This should only take a second. All right, so there's that. With that done, that means we should be able to come over here and do the catalog services. And well, now it's working. It's just saying console though.
Well, it didn't register, so something else isn't right.
It didn't register with the, okay.
Yeah, so something's not registering. Okay, so going back to our ports again. Well, we could also do systemctl. If you could print out if you could do systemctl status console and see what's going on. Because oh, here we go. Failed to connect to 8300, failed to connect to 8300, failed to connect to 8300. Okay. Synced service. It looks like it synced it now, though.
Yeah, it does look like it. I think these are from before the change. Yeah. Maybe we just did it too fast. Yeah.
There we are. Well, then.
Yay!
Here we are. Can you go back to your console UI?
Oh, yeah. Do you want to change this thing, though, before we do that?
Why not? One by one. Let's make the change. Yeah. 8301 needs to be between clients.
Okay.
Oh, no. It is client to server, too. You need it. I'm looking at the diagram. For those who are looking at I'm looking at the 1,000-foot view because the 1,000-foot view has the greatest diagram, at least for me personally.
So does it also need to be for the servers as well then?
No, you're good. So it's just client to server and then client to client 8301 and then client to server 8300, server to server 8300, but we don't have multiple servers right now. So
Okay.
we're okay.
So in other words, this is fine.
This is fine. Yep, that's
Okay.
right.
So for my understanding again here, the rule that we've got here, so 110 to 118. This one is gossip from the console client to the console server, and that's for LAN. And so this is just this 120 to 128 here. This is just for the RPC traffic from client to server. Okay.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. So you don't have to go into this, but I would like to at some point know why we have these two different ports for two different types of traffic. If you have an answer for that question.
I'm going to defer to chat, actually.
Okay, yeah.
There's a really tight summary for folks who don't want to iterate. Okay, so quickly, I'm just going to go through. RPC API, that's not the RPC. Okay, server RPC is used by servers to handle incoming requests from other agents. Okay. But it doesn't say much about the other RPC. LAN surf. Sorry, brain is like trying to remember each of these. I'm going to wait for chat if there's someone who also has recommendations, and then we will return to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is just me wanting to dive under every iceberg, but obviously if we go down every rabbit hole, we'll never get finished, so.
Yeah. So gossip is basically, the way that I managed to sort of reconcile it with that, we need gossip to understand what services are available, what's happening, right? Who has what state of what services, of what information. And that way it gives everybody some awareness of what's going on for every client. So that's why we need to have the LAN, which is 8301, LAN gossip traffic. So that's within the console data center. The RPC traffic, I'm actually curious why the RPC traffic is from console client to server, but I'm guessing that's because the client is communicating information to the server, like registration information, like, hi, I have API, or hi, I have web, and it's doing it over gRPC. I don't believe it would be doing it over LAN, but I'm not sure. Maybe it is. I don't know.
That makes sense, especially since clients might not be on the same LAN, right?
Yeah.
As of servers.
Yeah. Cool. So I'm sure someone will correct me. So just in case.
All right. So there's that. So that means that we didn't need to change anything else about the security group rules.
No.
And we can now, so just because I kind of derailed us there, we've now got the service, the API service, registering with console and registering with the server. So now everyone on our little party here is aware of API and its existence.
Correct.
Yes. And now you want me to go to the UI.
Yes, go to the UI. If you go to services, you should see services listed.
Look at that.
Yeah, click on API. Okay, so click API has, the private IP address of the node and the port. So if you examine I'll go back. Yeah, there we go. So it has the port as well as the IP address, the private IP address. So that pretty much is all you got right now. We're not going to get too much more complicated with health checking. You can add health checking to check whether or not things are working. We're going to, you know what? We're going to do the DNS thing first, and then maybe we'll add health checking. That way we don't add more config, because health checking is really important for knowing whether or not your application is up or down. You'll notice that there's no service checks in the UI, and then no service checks is kind of grayed out. It doesn't actually know if 9090 is fully, is actually up or down or not, right? No one really,
That makes sense. So all it knows is that the node's definitely healthy, but since we haven't defined an explicit health check, it's not going to just say that it's working.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So it's grayed out. Okay. Oh, so we actually have an answer from Blake.
Oh, nice.
Gossip 8301 is for managing cluster membership and for distributed health checking of the agents. RPC 8300 is for client server agents to send receive data that is actually stored in console services, KVs, service mesh config, etc.
Okay, if you got that open, can you copy paste those to me? I would love to just throw some of that into the description here. So that future me and future other people, when they come back to this and don't recognize anything that's going on, because that's how this stuff works, they will know. So while you talk, I'm going to just add some of that here.
Yes. It is managing cluster membership for distributed health checking of the agents. Yeah, so I guess gossip is good for the cluster management, and RPC is for anything that's in the clusters. So that's anything on top of it. Much appreciated, chat. Oh, Core
Yes.
DNS is my low-key obsession for fronting console. Charlie, I think we're going to not touch Core DNS today. we're going to go through it in a more simple way, which kind of makes me like grimace a bit, but we're going to try to do it, in a simple way, just so that way, we get a grasp of it. But hey, it could be something we should incorporate later.
Thank you for the detailed description, whoever it is that
Yes.
gave that.
That was Blake. Yes.
Thank you, Blake.
Thank you.
All right. So, meanwhile.
Okay. So now we have resolved API. We're not going to do the health checking or anything, etc.
Okay.
We are going to now try to check if Consul has this in the DNS. So Consul has basically uses a port 8600 for DNS. So if you go back to your API virtual machine.
Here I am.
And yes. And you do dig at 127.0.0.1 dash P, space dash P. Yep, 8600. And then API, space API dot service dot console. Okay, so before you run this, let's explain a little bit. So every console client also starts up a DNS port. We didn't turn this off or anything, right? So in theory, this should be on by default. If you try to resolve to api.service.console to the Consul DNS, Consul will return theoretically the IP address, private IP address of the node. Caveat to all of this: I haven't done this in 4 years? Yeah, 4 years. So we'll see if whether or not it's the same or it worked, because I haven't done this in a long time. All right, so if you press enter, we are trying to resolve to Consul, and you'll notice that Consul does return an answer. Consul's DNS interface returns an answer. And it is 10.255.3.126.
Nice.
Yay!
So,
yay.
Question here. What we just did is we used the dig utility to ping Consul on 8600, which is its DNS, and we said, yo, we got api.service.console. Does this mean anything to you? And it just said it does, and it means this.
Yes, precisely. It resolves to the API service. We don't have a second service, but I guess you could do console.service.console, I think. Console.service.console? Because that is also a service.
Really?
Yeah, I believe you can.
Nice.
Yeah, so that resolves to the leader, right? So that resolves to the server, console server.
Cool.
So yeah, you can now Consul. So Consul has the DNS interface, but if I want you to actually curl to console.service. Not console.service. I want you to curl to api.service.console. Right. So you'll notice it didn't resolve the host. It does not make any sense, right? It doesn't make any sense to DNS because at least the DNS interface right now for the machine doesn't point to console, right? It just says it just has whatever it is, right? So if you vim etc resolved, I don't remember. If you go vim etc resolve.conf, resolve.conf, we can open up the actual DNS hosts. Yeah, so it don't have them.
Using this one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do you want me to close it, or do you want me to change anything?
Close it. Don't we're not going to change it in here.
Okay.
So there's a couple of different ways to do this. In the chat, some folks were like, "Oh, try Core DNS." We are going to do it with the most basic stuff, which is the systemd resolve stub config. Yay, everyone! Yeah. So we're going to do it that easy way because we don't want to. We're not going to mess with it too much. And so there is, yes.
So where I'm losing context is why do we need to do this right now? to get this part set up?
Right. So DNS, right now DNS is pointing to 127.00.53, which is the default DNS interface. It will resolve pretty much everything to the default, sort of like the default outbound EC2 DNS interface. The problem is that DNS interface has no awareness of any information about console services at all, right? It has information about anything outbound, like google.com. It has anything EC2 internal related, but it has no awareness of the .service.console domain. So we need to tell it to look at console and say, hey, if you see .service.console, use the console DNS interface instead.
Ah, cool.
Yes. So it's a little bit like if you see service.console, use console DNS interface. Else, use whatever you have by default.
Perfect.
Yep.
That was a crisp description.
Yes. We have some folks in chat have recommended a couple things, and they have, thank you, also attached the documentation for the systemd one, which is actually what we need.
Nice.
So the systemd one is the one we're going to change. I showed you popped up the resolve.conf on there. That's basically, for us, right, that's what we're going to change. But we don't want to change resolve.conf, right? General rule of thumb, you don't want to go in and change resolve.conf because anything that that's a default configuration. If, let's say, AWS decides to make some updates and overwrite everything, then then all of your subdomains are overwritten. So we're going to go into etc systemd and then add it to the systemd resolved service. So we're going to do this properly and then go to resolve.conf. Yeah.
So we're going to change this file.
Well, interestingly, we don't have a resolve.conf.d, so I guess we have to make it.
Okay.
So you have to make a resolved.conf.d.
Okay. So we need to, let's see, resolve systemd. So it needs to be under the systemd folder.
Yes, it does.
What was the folder name again?
Resolved.conf.d.
Okay, cool.
/console.conf.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and make the thing first.
And for those who are following along in chat, I am looking at the link that Blake included, which is systemd-resolved setup. So we're going to go with that.
Conf, right?
Yep.
Cool. And here we are.
Yay. Okay. So let's just check your systemd version. Can you do systemctl --version?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. I know you just did that.
No, you're fine.
I don't know which version you are on, and I don't want to risk it, so we'll just do.
Sorry, what was the question again?
--version.
Oh, okay. Not Verizon. Okay.
237. So it is older. So in the docs, thank you very much. In the docs has the System 245 and older versus Systemd 246 and newer. I wasn't sure what Ubuntu image you were using.
1804.
1804, and the Systemd 237 is older than 245, so we're going to use the config as such.
Cool.
And go ahead.
No, that was it.
Oh, okay, cool. So systemd, for those who are not as familiar with systemd has a couple of different ways to layer config on top, and you don't want to do all of your configuration to the default configs, right? So for example, you don't just want to go to etc resolve.conf anymore and then just add things to it. There are too many things that could possibly be overwritten. So a way for you to isolate the things that you want to update as part of your system is to add configs, drop-in configurations to systemd. So right now we're adding a drop-in configuration specific to console, and then the console.conf will get written to the resolve.conf.
Oh, cool. Nice. Well, that's
So
nice.
that's systemd crash course, and I'm probably
Yeah.
missing something.
So in
All
other
right.
words, if we were to make like 3 or 4 conf files in this resolve.conf.d folder, those would get picked up and written into the resolve.conf file, like the
Yes.
OG one. Yeah.
Not the
Very
OG
cool.
one, but the systemd one, and then the systemd one
Ah.
will then eventually cascade to the OG one.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
But it's better for us in terms of isolating everything, making sure
Yeah,
we're not just
makes
like
sense.
throwing things into it. Cool. I'm just going to send you this link so you can copy paste the body
Cool,
of it,
that
because I
works.
don't think there's that much there's not too much you have to add to it, but
Just literally just this.
yep, that's what it says. I'm following the doc.
All right, well, let's
You know,
do it.
honestly, I'm telling you, the last time I configured this, I think was like console 0.8, and it was very difficult. So I don't. This is surprising. And it's not to say it's like it was bad or good. I was just It was so tricky the last time I did, and I think I did it with DNS mask, which was a terrible idea.
So this should be it then, right?
Yep.
Okay.
That should be it.
All right, cool. Let's try it.
Okay. Oh, correction. Not written in the original config, but when systemd resolve starts it, it will read the original config and then the overrides you created in the subdirectory. So we'll just layer.
Cool.
Yeah. So
Nice. So just for anyone who knows more about this is saying that. What exactly is it saying? How is this saying, like, if you encounter console or that .service.console, send it to the correct one?
send it to console.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's what this is saying in aggregate.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Well,
Now, if you if anybody decided to register console in like Route 53, like a .console name in Route 53, then I don't really know what problem you might have. But it will send it to 127.0.0.1.53.
Okay.
So,
cool.
Yes.
All right.
But we shall see. I am doubtful this is entirely going to work, but we shall try.
Okay. Yeah.
We might have to tell it to go to 8600, but hey, we're following the documentation right now because we're doing this the difficult way.
Perfect. So there is that. How do we make it aware of these changes we've just said?
Oh, okay. Thank you. Okay. So, command limitation. Okay. So before you do that, then you need to just do systemctl daemon sudo systemctl daemon reload dash reload.
Unknown operation. Is it reload? Just reload?
Daemon dash reload.
Oh, dash. Just kidding.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm assuming there's some missing stuff. So there's a second part to the configuration that we missed if you go back to the Learn tutorial link. As per Charlie, thank you, the IP tables rules fix the mapping, fix the port issue. So what the IP tables rules are doing, they're basically going to redirect the port from 53 to 8600, right? So we were able to dig to 8600 and retrieve the DNS entry. This is IP tables routing anything for any service.console. And then there you go. So copy.
Okay, gotcha. So will this send any requests to DNS through to console or just the ones relevant to console?
So it will send anything relevant to consoles or So it will kind of like forward both, I think. So let me look at this. Hold on. Append, output, destination, localhost. Yeah. So let's see, because I think the localhost port was 127.0.0.53. Yeah, 127.0.0.53 for EC2. So yeah, everything else will just default. So I think this means default destination port. So if anything goes to 53, then it goes to 8600. But .console will first resolve, right, to anything that's a service in console, and then subsequently any other DNS request will go to the ether, right, go out to.
Oh, back to the normal one. And that is what this file here, this is saying in essence.
Yeah.
Cool. If anyone in the chat or even you can tell me what exactly this magic is doing here, domains, squiggly console, I would love to know. But
we can look. We can look online to Google.
Cool. Let me. You want to put this in first, or do you want to look that up?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can go ahead and drop in the IP tables, and then we have to restart it.
Oh, I should do sudo.
Okay. I'll drop it in for those who are in the chat. The squiggle. Squiggle. Okay. The squiggle is a construct which is composed to indicate routing domain and dot to indicate the DNS root domain. That is the private. Okay, wait. Hold on. Where's the other squiggle? Hold on. Squiggle. Okay. Any domains not. Oh, so the domains prefixed with squiggle are called routing domains. All domains listed here, both search domains and routing domains, after removing the squiggle prefix, define a search path which that preferably directs DNS queries to this interface. So it matches on the query name of the DNS request per chat. If the query name matches console, API service at console, then it will forward the request to the defined DNS server.
Ah, cool. Nice. So it's just a way to tell it, hey, when you see this one,
yes,
you don't just go to the normal one, go to the console one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. Nice.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes. And as per chat, yes. As per chat, then you now need to do systemctl restart, sudo systemctl restart, systemd-resolved. So we actually have to restart the entire resolved service.
What's the service name again? Sorry.
Systemd-resolved.
Okay. All right. Does this look right?
Yep. Okay. So, all right. You can do status and see if it worked.
What are we looking for to denote whether or not what we did worked?
Well, we'll be able to tell whether or not it, first of all, not console, sorry.
Oh.
Oh, I don't know what's going on there. That's interesting.
We can tackle that after we do the other thing, I guess.
Yeah. Just do status systemd-resolved.
Oh, so the actual.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, there's one way we can tell. We can curl to API or dig, just dig api.service.console. See where it goes.
I don't remember with dig. Do you need the
Don't do the @ right? Because we already. It should just know where to go, right? So if you go dig.service.console. Yeah, it looks like it's not erroring, so we should be okay. Yeah, api.service.console, right? Because remember, it's service.console. Anything that you register in console is service.console.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Well, it's not pleased. That's for sure. So then. That's interesting. And here we are.
So question with this, I think for me at least, I'm a little lost on the end goal of what we've done here with the DNS. It seems like what we're trying to do is make it so that instead of going to the hard-coded IP name, we want to make it so that we can say api.service.console from here and recognize it. When we do this, will this propagate across all of the clients and servers?
So we have to do it for each client, right? So we have to configure each client's resolved systemd-resolved configuration so that it resolves to console. But what this will allow us to do is that way, once we have this done on API, we can mimic and copy the same approach to web.
Yeah.
And that way, web can resolve to api.service.console.
Perfect. And that's for that. The reason for this is so that your services that you're running can refer to each other by this name, api.service.console. Okay, cool.
By console's DNS interface. So that way you don't have to register. Let's say, traditionally what you would do is you would maybe take web and API IP addresses and register in Route 53, right?
Yeah.
Or to a load balancer or something. We're basically saying console should do this.
Cool.
All right. So it didn't work. So did you run the IP table? First, step 1 in debugging. Did you set up the IP tables?
I did, right here. Both of these, and they seemed to run without error.
Okay. So the IP tables were added. Okay. I wonder where. All right. To debugging.
And also, this error popped up here, but I assume that this I'm not really sure what this error is trying to
Yeah,
say.
that looks like that's the node address. But it doesn't seem like it's not resolving to it, so it should be okay. We'll come back to it. All right. So let's think. It looks like it's resolving to the EC2, right? Like you see the server at the bottom. You see at the bottom where it says query time 5 milliseconds. Server is 127.0053. That makes me think it's resolving to the DNS, the main DNS still, like the OG DNS still.
Okay. So this should be saying go to the 8600 one then.
Well, we should see it go to when, I don't know, we'll see. Make some magic edges. Journal CTL-U. Here, I'll just send it to you we've got debug questions from chat, or debug suggestions from chat.
Nice.
So.
Do I need to probably just, why not?
Yeah. Doesn't look like it. Can you execute the dig command again? Yeah, and you go back to DNS. Go back to system. Can you reissue and follow the logs on systemd resolved?
Just with this one?
Yeah. Doesn't look like the request is even going to systemd resolved.
So maybe the file we made isn't getting picked up, the conf file?
Yeah, it might be. Just so for our own personal sanity, one recommendation in chat is to dig at port 8600 again. So if you could run in your history and go back to dig at 127.001 8600. Okay, yeah. See, what we want to see is 127.001, right? With that, so
like this.
That we should see that. So it is working, but it's not getting picked up by systemd resolved.
Yeah. So it's got to have something to do with either that file or it not being aware of it then, right?
Right. Yeah. So I'm wondering what is going on. And it looks like it's not forwarding the request. That's for sure. What a puzzle. What a puzzle.
I'm going to make sure that I put this in the right location.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So let's just check if they're actually packet transfer rules. Okay. So another suggestion in the chat is to check IP tables and see if the IP tables rules have been, picked up. So if, for example, the IP tables rules we configured so that it would route through IP tables, right? From 53 to 8600. So the suggestion is let's check the packets in IP tables and see if it actually did that routing or not.
Okay.
So. Cool.
There it is.
Okay, so nothing got redirected, right? Because it's got 0 packets and 0 bytes. So something is I think systemd resolved is pooped for some reason. Now the question is why? I wonder if it's not matching on that domain.
What do you mean by that?
Like, you know how that's tilde squiggle console? I don't know. Maybe that's not, it could be right. I'm not sure. But.
Yeah.
Let's see. There might be something missing. We could be missing something. That is also the case. Resolve confd. All right, Google. Systemd resolve.
The newer one once the port directly in.
Yeah, but we
but I
don't.
guess, yeah, but we have that, we do that part here
Yeah.
afterwards.
Yeah. One suggestion is to do resolve CTL status, sudo resolve CTL status, and see what's going on there. So let's try.
Okay. Did I type that wrong? Is that a command?
It might not resolve. Sorry, no E, no E.
Oh, okay. I am apparently unaware with this particular tool because that is not showing up at all.
Okay, so it might not be configured.
Yes.
I mean, there
So
is one
here's my
option.
question:
Mm-hmm.
is how confident are we that this file right here is correct, and
Well,
that
it is
these
in the
steps are correct?
documentation. So
Yeah.
I've configured the IP tables rules before. That makes sense to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
The console.conf, I can't be sure. We could look at the man page for the resolve.conf and see. Oh, systemd resolve dash dash status. Oh, add resolve before DNS lines. Add resolve in square brackets. Here. Before the DNS lines. So that is our wonderful chat troubleshooting, helping us troubleshoot.
Wait, where should I put this?
So, sorry. If you go back to sudo vi at csystemd resolve.conf.d/console.conf, if you open that up, the suggestion is to put square bracket resolve with a capital R.
Okay.
And then end square bracket. Yep.
And this, okay.
Yep. And then sudo systemctl daemon -reload. We might as well reload it. Why not? And then do systemctl restart. And then the systemd resolved.
Alrighty.
Okay. Systemctl status systemd resolved. I don't know if we want the detailed ones right now, so let's just check. Okay. So there's no errors. There's something.
Okay.
And then try to dig api.service.console. We need to get somewhere with it. Okay. Still sending to 53.
So we should see this at one hashtag 8600, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or 53. We should see at least 127.001.53. So that also doesn't seem to quite work either. One suggestion, just continuing the debug, is to restart network. Expected you're querying the stub. Yeah. But all right. So next suggestion is to do systemd-resolve status. So I'll send that to you. Question mark. What in the world is happening? Resolve DNS. Well, scroll up.
That's all there is.
Yeah, there's nothing in here. It doesn't look like it picked up.
So here's my question. Do you think that it is the file not getting picked up, the file being misconfigured, or something else?
It could be any number of things. It doesn't seem like the file is misconfigured. It definitely looks like it's not sending the host name, right? It's not sending a .console service.console host name to systemd in the first place, to the systemd resolved interface in the first place.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Actually,
go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. What's going on?
I was just gonna say, other than that, in these steps that we've gone through here, have we did we miss any of them? Perhaps was there like a prerequisite that we failed to account for, or?
It does not appear to.
Okay.
So We could try another thing, which is, can you examine the resolve.conf, the Etsy resolve.conf file, for example, for a second?
Yeah.
That's the global options, name server, EDNS 0 search ec2.internal. All right, good old Google outside of. Let's look at this outside of it. Let's see. Checking everything, looking for sensitivity, resolve status. I know you mentioned you've tried this before, so the steps should be fine. So it's still not working. Oh, we should check that run systemd resolve.conf is linked to Etsy resolve.conf. Can you ls run/run? Yeah, sudo l here. I'm just gonna copy the command from chat. Oh, this is a little tricky. There we go.
Oh, to check for a sim link. Okay.
All good. No blame. We're just looking, you know? Okay.
So it does exist.
Yeah, so it does exist. That's good. Actually, can you dig api.service.console space plus space plus trace? Yeah, it's kind of going into the ether, isn't it? Well then, it's going straight to the other domain. So that's definitely interesting. Okay, let's try this. Let's do more research.
Could we, by chance, roll back to a point where we're to where it was working and begin again? Just because at this point we've tackled so many branches that at least I personally have kind of gotten lost on the specific issue that we're trying to resolve. Just to backtrack to see if there's anything that we did miss, or perhaps we can use a different approach to the setup here.
We can try one of the other options there. There's bind, DNS mask, unbound, IP tables.
Yeah.
So we can try one of the other ones.
Yeah, because I feel like we've kind of hit a wall with this, and at least we're doing everything that's been brought up, and for it to still not be working, it seems like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can try one of the other ones.
Okay. Which one would you like to try?
You can pick. I think DNS mask is probably the other common one that I know of. Someone's saying core DNS, but we don't have instructions for that. So unless we can do that real fast.
Yeah. Okay. So DNS mask then?
Yeah, DNS mask. Okay. So I would just remove the conf file, console.conf file out of systemd resolved.
Okay. Yeah. So the one we made.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And I forget where we put that. That was under systemd resolve.conf. Yeah.
I mean, we could also just add it directly to etsyresolve.conf. I don't know if systemd is systemd resolved is doing something strange or what, but
yeah. Cool. So that is gone now. Do we need to reload everything to get that to?
Yeah, we'll just reload.
Okay, cool.
Yep. Like I said, I don't think we did that much, to be honest. So we just did a lot of debugging. Yeah.
Yeah,
we did a lot of debugging.
I'm trying to think, were there any? We did the IP tables thing right here. I honestly don't know how to undo this.
Oh, oh yeah, okay. Undo. IP tables dash T nat dash F. Oh, we got a core DNS snippet. Okay, well, we might as well do core DNS because at least it seems like we've got it.
Okay. So
Hold on.
what am I
All
doing
right,
here with IP tables?
1 second. Give me 1 second,
Okay.
please. I've got a
You're
couple
fine.
messages coming in and out. Okay, so do IP tables dash T nat dash F. So that will remove the stuff that's been configured.
Nice.
Okay. There is a lovely script share file that we'll share. Thank you to Charlie. It is for core DNS.
Oh,
And
wow.
it has.
This is a lot of stuff.
Fortunately, it's scripted, so that's good.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. I'm just looking through it. So we can do this. I mean, I personally would love to like walk through it and know what is going on with it, because part of this, for me at least, is understanding the steps involved with this particular problem. Do you want to just grab this and run it, or do a different?
Well,
do the
grab
DNS
it, right?
approach?
Grab it,
Yeah.
and then we'll walk through the script step by step.
Okay.
Yeah, some of it, and then anything that comment along, we can comment along.
Okay. Cool. I guess I could just make this here, right?
Or we can go the DNS mask route. I let you decide which one you prefer.
Yeah. Not that this script and core DNS approach doesn't look interesting, and that I wouldn't like to do it, but at least for me, from a learning perspective, I'm in this so that I'm not just running a script that I don't understand. Like, I would prefer to see like what exactly we're doing to make it work, if that makes sense.
Yeah, okay. So then let's go with DNS mask. It's not great, but DNS mask.
Yeah, cool. So here, we need to disable systemd resolved. I like how it's a may, not a we definitely need to. So then.
Okay.
So,
let me
go ahead.
check. Let's follow the guide that says follow the guidance in systemd resolve for additional instructions.
Okay.
So
This just took me back here.
Wait. Oopsies. Hold on. Disable systemd resolved for DNS mask. It's mostly, I imagine it is probably mostly the same steps. That is correct. So for those who are looking at this and saying what, systemd resolved is the operating system, not operating system, but out of the box, right? Systemd allowing you to do the resolved. There's other DNS forwarding tools that you can use, like DNS mask, like core DNS. If you do DNS mask and you do core DNS, you do need to install them. Okay, so there's a suggestion that systemd resolved might work. We just needed to disable something.
Okay.
Yes.
What?
If we disable the DNS stub listener. Okay. So if you go back up to the systemd resolved.
Okay.
I thought we did, but maybe we didn't. So scroll down. Mm-hmm. We did not do that step. It might be that we might have scroll down again. Using any local resolver with systemd. There we go. We didn't do that step. Which might.
Were supposed to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which might be our problem.
All right. Well, let's try again. I mean, hey.
Friday brain. I don't know. We'll see. This is one of those things. It's good we're doing the exercise at least.
Yeah. I can sit here and act like this isn't how development goes, but this is exactly how development goes. I mean, it just is.
Such is life.
Did I get rid of that altogether?
I think you removed it.
Okay. Well, back we go again.
I'm sorry, but this is life.
No, this is exactly how this is, and it would be a lie to say that it wasn't.
Yeah, we'll try turning it off, and we'll see if it works. If it works, then it works, right? Yeah. So we'll see how it goes. Okay, the good news is that it exists.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I wonder why it wasn't picking it up.
Can you do sudo vim?
Okay, so it is there.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, I need to do vi. Okay, round 2. There's that part. I'm gonna run the IP tables commands again. Darn it. There we go. And now we will do this other step where we oh, not wrong one. Resolved. Is that not even in there?
I think you should have resolve.conf, right? Though.
Yeah. I could have sworn there was something else in there though.
No, I think it's just resolve.conf. It's a file.
Okay, so it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. And so this means DNS stub listener false is right down here. So we would add that DNS stub listener false, DNS stub listener yes. Is the answer really yes or false?
I don't know. I think it's yes, no versus false, no. So they'll just check either way. So we'll just see how it goes. It's okay.
We'll see if if false is the correct one there.
Yeah.
So this means that we now need to reload it, right?
Yep. Reload and then restart.
Okay. Actually, I can just do the history command. 68, I believe. Restart. Systemd resolved is what we're restarting, right?
So we need 67 and 68, just so because we updated the config. Comments are the defaults. Did you need to remove the hash? I think you might have missed that. I think the hash was in existence, was not there. So I think it was already uncommented.
Yeah, I got rid of it.
Yeah, you got rid of it.
There.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now we need the 68.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And that looks the same, the status. So that means we now need to dig.
This is more promising than the last time. I don't know if it's good, but it's more promising.
It's different. All right, well, now it can't reach anything.
Well, that's different.
It is.
Look at Etsy resolve.conf.
What file? Oh, systemd.
Not systemd. Just Etsy resolve.conf.
What folder is that in?
The OG resolve.conf. So it's just Etsy resolve.conf.
Yeah, I don't think that. I think it's in a different folder because that's.
Are you?
At this point, we've been looking at it for so long that.
Yeah,
okay,
that.
Resolve.conf.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Why don't I see that in here?
I think it's listing all directories because you're listing directories.
Oh,
but you also have no commands, so you need to. Yeah.
My bad.
Well.
I mean, I don't know why this would have changed, right? So.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
Can you systemd-resolve-status? You know what it said up there. So sudo systemd.
Wait.
Dash resolve.
Look at what it said again. Okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
do that.
So still going to the old one.
Something is not getting picked up.
I think perhaps, I mean, we can, if we get any other ideas, I'm good to do it, but I'd also be fine to move on to the DNS mask setup at this point.
Yeah, the tricky part with DNS mask is that we do have to do a bunch of other stuff. So we might not be in any good position, but it's fine. We'll give it a try.
Yeah. So we can clean up the files, or we can just disable systemd resolved, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, since that's a step anyways. How do we go about disabling that?
I have no idea. We're going to have to look it up.
Disable systemd resolved. To 1804.
You did it. You just did it.
Oh, wow, it's that simple? Okay. Oh,
it's the stub you have to disable. Okay, all right. Well, all right. That's all we need to do. Apparently, because we disabled the stub, you know how we added it?
Yeah, to that file.
That means, yeah, you just need to disable the stub. You don't need to disable the entire thing. You just need to disable the stub. So we just did it, apparently.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So then that means we're good to move on to DNS mask.
Yes.
Okay.
So we have to install DNS mask.
Seems like we have that on here.
Okay.
So,
yay.
yeah.
Cool.
So then we just need to make this file here.
Yes, apparently.
Alrighty. So I'm guessing I just need to do this first line.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I don't know if we need the other ones. Can you go back to the config?
Yeah.
Reverse DNS lookups. We probably need some of them. Yeah, probably need some of them.
One, since that's what our private IP is on, or do we need?
I would just say maybe 120. 1, 2, 3. The fourth line, I think, is maybe the one, because it's the localhost 8600. But I don't know for sure.
Okay. What we could do is we could just try it with just this line first, and then see.
Yeah. Let's give it a try.
I think that's what I need to do. Wait, do I need to do anything else here? Oh, these are just for additional settings.
Yeah, okay. I think you should be good.
Okay, and then restart the DNS mask service.
Start DNS mask. I don't think it has that.
It doesn't. Okay. Did it? How do we see if it's even? I guess if that's not there, it's not.
I think it's just. It's not even. I think it's. Hold on, we're looking. Hello. We need to build the service unit file for it.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. So whether or not that was even there. So we have to run DNS mask, and we want to run it in the background through systemd, correct?
Yeah, hold on, I'm looking. Yeah, we need a DNS mask for 18. Steal the one you did for API. All right, just copy the one from API and put DNS mask in there.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
That works.
I'm just surprised they don't have it. Like, that's why I'm just confused. I don't know if it's actually installed.
Yeah. Which, that's right. Here's where we do it. Yes. So we're just going to call this DNS mask service.
Yeah.
Yes. And then we'll just call this DNS mask. We don't need any of these environment variables. I don't, obviously.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you need to install it, but I don't know. It just seems like a partial install of some kind.
Yeah, it's in the S bin.
Right. But I don't think it's actually installed. I don't know.
Whoops. I don't think we need exec stop, so let's see here. And
Yeah, I don't actually think it's properly installed, but we can give
yeah,
it a try. I think we're going to bork it though, so
yeah, whatever that
yeah.
means, resource temporarily unavailable.
Yeah, it's because you're not listening on 53 anymore, so it doesn't,
Ah.
because you removed the step domain.
Oh, so I need to go back and add that and change it back.
No, I don't. I think part of it is that we're missing a couple steps.
Okay, yeah, such as
As
DNS
to
mask not being on there.
yeah, I think we're missing a couple steps, which might be kind of the
Mm.
problem. Okay. It might be easier to recreate the instance. Yeah, I think so too. Because I think it's not borked and it won't even restart, but I just don't think DNS mask is even up.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
How can we just check that here? Because it says we've got it.
well,
Permission
it should
denied.
have a DNS mask service.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because can you do sudo apt-get install DNS mask? I don't know if it will resolve at all because of the we subdomained it. Yeah. All right. Can you reset the subdomain? Just take it out
Yep.
of Etsy, wherever it was, Etsy systemd,
Yep.
wherever it was. I don't even remember.
Yep. Sorry, my cat is like freaking out here.
Like we just made the DNS mask service, but someone was pointing out the DNS mask package would come with the systemd unit file if it was actually installed. So it might be just like a
Okay.
half installation, but I don't
Okay.
know for
Yeah.
sure. Because most
All
of the
right.
references that
So
I'm looking at right now say that the systemd file comes with it. So if you do the installation.
cool. So let's reverse some of that damage first. Which file did I change here? That was
It was Etsy systemd/resolve.conf.
resolve.conf. Okay. So 87 here. So we reverse that damage.
Yep.
So there's that. We need to also clear the IP tables, right? And I believe that
Now
was
you can leave them for now. Just restart it. Systemd. Just do restart daemon reload and then restart systemd resolved.
okay. System D resolved, so it should just be 77 here. Still unable to get to anything here. You sure we don't need to clear IP tables?
Well, the problem is that it's unable to resolve the host, right? So it's unable to
Yeah.
resolve its own IP address.
How did we get to that?
I think we borked it. I think we're just going to have to
Yeah.
recreate the instance.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
If we do that, we're going to lose the files we've made.
That's okay.
Okay.
We can
Is there-
cheat, apparently.
We can cheat.
I don't know what the cheat is, given that we don't have DNS. Yeah, I don't think this is gonna work. I think we could. I mean, it's fine. We can just reinstall. You can.
Okay, that did it.
Oh,
I don't know why, but that did it.
someone said it's because it's resolved is up now, so it should be okay. So, all right,
Okay.
let's try this. Can you just dig google.com and just make sure it actually resolves again?
Oops.
Oh, well, it does exist. Okay, so that's good.
Okay.
Step
So we're
one,
back
it
to
did do
there.
something. Okay.
We're back to that.
We are back to that. All right, so can you apt-get install DNS mask? Let's see. All right, so yes, it's unpacking it. Okay,
Okay.
you see where it says it created the symlink?
Yes.
Yes. So that means now it exists.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
So
All right. I
just
am
wanna
digging
see what
into
this is.
instructions to make sure. It is saying to stop system resolve, disable and stop system resolve.
So real quick,
Mm-hmm.
it's still got you said that once we install it, it should make a service file, except the current one that it's pointing to is still the one that we made. And I'm not sure if that's what we want. I mean, it's still pointing to the same one.
Oh, well then maybe it's the same one. I don't know.
Let me edit this file here because I think I gave it the wrong location. Duh. Keep forgetting to put this. Because this is actually just straight in there, I believe. Yes, user sbin DNS mask. Okay, so now the service file is correct. I don't know if it's actually correct, but it seems like it.
Okay. DNS mask -v. I guess let's just check the version.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
We still have the config file, so that should be
okay.
So
all
that's
right.
still in there as well.
Okay, so then let's go. DNS mask setup.
So I think we're at the point where we're supposed to restart the service. But I don't know if we ever actually started the service.
Yes, we did not. But I'm trying to figure out if we should stop, disable, or just stub. Or disable, or do the stub, right? Because
you're talking about this first line up here, right?
Yeah. So
I'm tempted to leave it because of this word right here. You may, as if we don't actually know if we should.
Okay. All right. Let's configure it. Let's add the 10 console configuration for DNS mask then.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
We've got that. That's up there.
Yeah. The stub is gone. So we remove the stub.
Yeah.
Or we don't know. It's not false. It is true, but we'll see what goes on.
So
otherwise,
what are we looking at here?
Can you? Yeah. So you have cat etc. That's good, and then you can start it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I mean, it probably won't work, but.
Oh,
wait. So before you do that, kill the stub, start DNS mask, and you should be okay. That's what it's saying. That's what someone else is confirming.
Okay. So I totally just started it.
Okay. Just status and see what happens. I mean, it probably will just get upset at us, but whatever. Status, and then we'll see. Well, it failed.
Yeah.
All right. Well, disable the stub once again. So false. So go back to.
Yeah, which file that is.
That was systemdresolve.conf.
Systemdresolve.conf. Mm-hmm. Okay, so it was disabled.
Yeah, or no, you have to uncomment.
Oh, and explicitly leave it.
Yep.
As false or no?
False.
Okay.
So that's there. And then restart system resolved. So command 107 in history.
Gotcha.
And then now command 122.
Okay.
No, not 22. 122. Okay.
Oh, here we go again. Now we've got the.
Okay. Well, it might take some time. So there's some folks say it might take some time, but I'm not sure. That could be okay. Can you do status DNS mask and see what's going on there?
Yeah.
Let's see if it's... it was none too happy.
Do you think it's our service file we made being incorrect?
It looks like it's status code exited. It looks like DNS mask exited.
Yeah.
Like it says main process exited status 0 success. So it didn't actually start. It didn't stay up and running.
Yeah.
So journal CTL. Journal CTL brain. Sorry, Friday brain. We're coming up on the late night too.
Yeah.
Journal CTL. Where is it? Brain. Yeah, journal CTL -XE -U DNS mask. Right. Automatic
result.
I think we are missing something in the systemd file for DNS mask.
Yeah, I think the systemd file is just incorrect. So I was gonna just look up if there's like an example. Let's see, what does theirs look like here? Exec start. Got a lot of different things here around it, but they're still ultimately just calling you run DNS mask.
All right. So do you want to just run the script for core DNS and then we'll walk through it and dig into it? Because I think there's a lot of config that we're not. Core DNS will layer on top of it. Right now, DNS mask will kind of. We have a lot of fiddly things. So.
Yeah, I'm not the. I'm just trying to. What I'm trying to figure out here is, to my knowledge, we are following the steps we have here on our document for Datum.
But there's a lot of other things to configure with DNS mask that are not. Yeah. That's not in the scope of this, right? So it's not necessarily. So this tells you how to do it in the context of Consul, but it's not doing it in the context of in the fact that we don't actually use DNS mask on. We didn't actually configure it at all. So.
Okay.
So that's going to be one thing. So we can reverse everything and we can try IP tables again. If you want, we can try IP tables specifically, which is the most basic way to do it.
I need to come here and get rid of this first.
Yes.
Yeah. Because it does not seem to like when we do this at all. And then after doing that, I think
when you did the install, because the systemd file already existed for DNS mask, it just picked up whatever you had. It didn't actually generate anything. So that is also something, right?
Yeah, that's what I think. Yeah, I just looked at that.
Okay.
What do I need to run here to get that to?
I think you just use status, systemctl status, systemd resolved, and then we'll see what happens. Yeah. It's running at least, so that's good.
Yeah, basically what I'm trying to do is reload it after turning off the DNS stuff thing.
Yeah. So that you can dig google.com again, and then if it gets upset, then so then you're pretty good.
So we're back. Cool.
Yeah. Okay.
So this one looks
super
simple. What is using existing cases you went to query without the overhead of running a separate service on a console host. Is this appropriate for us to do here, Rosemary?
Existing DNS server is your query into the console domain to the console server. Yeah, let's try this because we have this because there was the stub for EC2, right? The EC2 internal host name, and then there's a lot of other bits and bobs, and we don't want to set up our own. We don't really have other DNS, right? So let's give this one a try and see where it goes. Yeah. I'm a little hesitant, but we'll try it,
Yeah. Oh, almost forgot sudo.
I mean, again, if we bork it, we can always close out and then, try it again, pick up, try again next time.
Yep.
Because we just don't have any of the other stuff set up, and that's kind of where our problem is. All right.
Okay. So now we should be able to just do service.console, right?
I don't know. We'll see. Still nothing. I think it's that stub. It's that stub that's going to the EC2 internal.
Yeah. I mean, we just disabled it though, right?
I know. No, we didn't. We remember we re-enabled it.
So this one right, where is it?
Yeah.
This one right here.
Yeah.
So
remember? Yeah. No. But disabling this. So there's a stub that goes for EC2 internal.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so EC2 internal is for internal EC2 resolution for host names.
Right.
So when we say DNS stub listener equals false, it removes the ability for us to resolve EC2-internal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we allowed it to happen again.
Right. So what's the fix here for this?
Well, there's currently no fix. So the current, okay. So, all right. So Blake tested. Apparently, etc resolve conf was not pointing to systemd-resolved, and that was the problem. So the OG wasn't pointing to systemd resolved.
Okay, so the one that's being layered on top.
Yes. Okay.
And so.
Yes. So, go back to the terminal.
Okay.
Do IP tables -t space nat
So this is that.
-f. Yep. Remove the
Just
IP tables. Yeah, just to clear it. Okay. Start from the top of the resolve.conf. of the systemd resolved.
Yeah, okay, here we go again. So we're gonna go to this file.
Yeah. And we're gonna go back to resolve.conf.d/console.config. Okay. So now we have to add the DNS, that whole thing.
Yep.
Okay. There we go. Sudo. Oh, yes, there was a tip. Oh, so don't forget the resolve section at the top.
Hold on. Yeah, that's right. Let me
Okay.
figure out what's going on with this file.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in there. That's what I thought, Bane.
Oh, wait. Resolve versus resolved. The D.
Oh, yeah, I see it.
So remove, I don't think you have a resolved .conf. That also could have been our problem.
Jeez, are you kidding me? No way. No way. Nuh-uh. There's no way. Is that really gonna be what it is? I mean, I don't even know. So it's resolved.conf.
Yeah.
.d.
Yeah.
Oh, no, not like this.
I think this is the pepcac to end all pepcacs. But I was not checking it. Sorry. Between the chat and increase the pepcac counter. I think it still counts.
Okay, well, that has to be it. Wow. That's what, unbelievable.
I'm going to increase it twice for this. Maybe 3 times. I think I'm going to do it 3 times.
Oh. Okay, so do I even need to add it? Do I even need to add the resolved thing then at the top? It's probably just that I had it in the wrong folder.
Yeah, just don't do it and then do the IP tables. And then if this is it, then we've really done the pepcac to end all pepcacs. Oh, dear.
Why won't you let me just save it thing? I mean, I don't even know. Let's just see here.
Did you create the folder? You did. That's possibly. Good.
Yes.
Oh, no, you've been sudo vi resolve.conf rather than resolve.conf.d.
Ah, okay. Oh, typos. You know, there we go. All right. My fingers are my own worst enemy, apparently. Let's try this again. Okay. There's that.
Let's see. Hold on. You might need to add the resolve at the top.
Okay. Just
Yeah.
so that header.
Yes,
Can we
you
try
still
with-
need it.
So we definitely need it.
Yeah.
Even though this doesn't in here.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So is it resolve or resolved?
No D.
Oh,
Yeah.
there's no D in this one though. Okay.
Yeah. We're just having a great time today.
Okay. So now we'll do the
IP tables.
The IP rules. There's one.
Uh-huh.
Well, I apologize, everyone. Apparently, I missed.
It's
Our-
fine.
our
I was
favorite
not like I just glanced at it and didn't. Okay.
Okay.
So
Now
now we can restart system D resolved. I don't know. We might still have to point to it, so we'll check, but we'll see.
Okay. So it is restarted. So do we want a status here on it?
Yeah, and then okay. So then let's dig ourselves into a hole.
I don't even remember what the name of the thing is. here.
Service.console. It's always
Yeah.
service.console. Now, oh, we didn't need it. I don't know. Blake, we didn't need to do a soft link. I think ours is already set, but I don't know why. Okay,
So it
cat.
was a typo.
Yeah, can you debug and do cat/resolve.conf? Yeah, etsyresolve.conf. Yeah, there you go. No E. Yeah, resolve. Or, yeah, E? Yeah, there you go. There you go. That's good. Well, it's not in there, but it works. So, you know what? Can you curl api.service.console? 9090, sorry. Curl api.service.console 9090. There you go.
All right. Well, check for typos is always the lesson in DevOps, right? God.
Wow. Great job, everyone. Good job to everyone.
All for
in the
typos.
chat.
We went round and round.
I think this is the pebcac to end off. We literally went around for like an hour doing this.
Oh my goodness. Well,
Do we want to go to web? I don't know how your schedule is, but do we want to finish this off or no?
if you're down, I am down.
Okay.
As long as I've got these gardeners out here that are really loud. Can you hear it?
No, I can't. I'm
Perfect.
good.
As long as
Okay.
you can hear it, then I'm good.
All right.
So just to recap, because so that I know here, what we did is we came in, we set up a systemd file for the API fake service to start it. We then set up a console configuration file to tell console about the API file. And then after much typo and hardship, we followed two simple steps here, in which the only thing that was wrong was my lack of a D here. And other than that, it worked. Yeah. Sound about right?
Yeah. Good
Okay.
job.
So anyone watching, it's not nearly as bad as we just made it out to be. Just don't forget the D in resolved. Okay.
Oh, all right. We just have to mimic this to web now. So now we have to
Okay.
install. Yeah, now you have to log into web.
All right, moving on. Wow.
Well then, chat, I have to give a shout out to chat. Thank you for sticking with us and for helping us
Yes.
debug. This was the
Embarrassing for me.
pebcac to end all pebcacs. I mean, I didn't catch it. I was just like, I just didn't catch it either. So really it was all of us just like, I think Charlie might have pointed out like we missed it, but I think we never went back to it and was like, this is like missing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, we just kept going on, and then we went to DNS mask, and it was just like,
Yeah.
uh,
Is that case where you think it's something more complicated when it turns out to be like the simplest thing that could be? Ah. My
there
brain
we
is
are.
completely fried here.
It's fine. Unzip. Do you have the other one open? You have the other machine open?
No, should I have it open?
Just have
I
it
just
open and
closed
then
it out.
copy the history, maybe, right?
Oh yeah. Okay, 1 second.
Oh, well, it's fine. We can do this manually.
For me, it's part of just the repetition of wanting to know exactly what's, because I'm still playing the student, even though I'm being terrible. Since I just keep forgetting consonants here left and right.
It's okay. You know what? This is why the series is we're just doing everything the most difficult way
Yeah.
possible.
Yeah.
Just because we can. Just because we can. Like, instead of using the pre-configured bootstrapping and the automated playbooks, we just don't do that. We for the sake of your own the thing is, we got fake service up and running in like 5 minutes. Oh gosh.
So let's move to user bin. So I'm just moving that over there and then we need to make it executable. So there's that. So we've got fake service in. Now we need to go make the systemd file. And we'll call this in web.service, right?
Yeah.
Sound good to you?
Mm-hmm.
Go into here. We'll use a very similar configuration, but we'll change some stuff around.
Yeah, there is one thing that we are going to need to change on top of this.
Okay.
So do I am web. So in fake service has a configuration called upstream URIs.
Okay.
So upstream,
Ah.
upstream URIs allows you to define an upstream service that you can call any arbitrary upstream service. That's all it really wants, right? So what we're going to do is tell it to call api.service.console on 9090.
Okay, cool.
Got it? Okay.
So I need to come over here and add another environment, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then it's going to equal HTTP :// api.service.console.
99.
And then
right?
9090. Yep, that's it.
So rest of this look good?
Rest of this should be correct.
All right. We need to reload before we start it, right?
Yeah, I think because it's new.
Yeah. I don't even remember what the command is at this
Daemon
point. Is it daemon
dash reload. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. And then status. That looks like it's up and working.
Right.
Cool.
So let's try this. Let's curl localhost 9090. So web is also on 9090 as well, right? So curl localhost 9090. You'll notice that it had an error. It says, I can't get to the upstream. This is as expected. We didn't configure DNS on web yet, right? We went through the whole rigmarole of configuring DNS on API, but here we are. We haven't configured DNS on web, so it can't find anything right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now we just need to go through these same steps again, creating the console config file and then doing the non-typoed version of systemd resolve.
Yes, precisely. Yes. So now what we're going to need to do is repeat the process. We create a service definition for web.
Yeah, cool, perfect. So this is going to be console D And we just need to make a new file here. Just want to call it web.hcl.
Yeah.
Cool. You sure you can't, I'm not like being loud here. You can't hear motors and stuff?
Oh, no, I can't hear it.
Cool. Perfect.
Your mic is filtering it out, I think.
Cool. Alrighty. So we'll go into here. And then if I recall, there were like no settings at all for this. Right?
Something like that. Yeah. We just scroll up. Yeah.
Right.
We really just needed, everything and no tagged addresses and 9090. We can change the port, but we don't need to. So 9090.
So this is good, right?
Yep.
Actually, get rid of that extra line break. So there is the new console file. And what was the next step here after we
Then we restarted console. We just restarted it. Yeah. Yep.
Alrighty.
Give it a little time. Okay. Let it run. You can status again. Otherwise, we could do journal CTLF, but okay.
Cool. So now we move on to the system resolved steps.
Well, let's make sure web was added, right?
Oh, yeah. So what was that again? Console
catalog.
Service catalog.
Services. Yeah. It may not have.
Hey,
oh, there you are.
There it is.
Woo.
Yay.
There we are. Excellent.
Oh my gosh, we're getting close. So you're telling me the past hour could actually be done in like 10 minutes?
Yeah, I guess because we just pebcacked ourselves into like
we
whole
did.
Hour.
Well, I did.
It's fine.
I'll take the responsibility.
Anybody who tuned in live, thank you. Anyone who's watching the recording, we're probably gonna crop out the amount of time we spent sitting there like, what is going on? And then Blake was like looking at it and debugging himself, and then Carl was like, let me see what's in my config. And then we're just like, oh wait. Yeah, so if anything, people learned how to debug DNS, so we tried. Okay.
Yeah. Resolved.conf.d.
It doesn't exist.
Yeah. Will VI make the folder if I don't remember?
I don't believe so. Oh, yeah, they did. There we are. Seems like it. Don't forget the resolve at the top.
We didn't put it in the other one, did we?
We did.
Okay. Well, either way, I do have to make the directory.
Yeah, you do have to make it. Oh, well. The other commentary in the chat is sudo su dash. So you don't have to keep typing sudo.
Oh, yeah. So you can just act as the user.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we are making the folder, and it is spelled correct. I'm just double checking it. Okay, cool.
Oh, question for you from the chat.
Oh.
Your plan was just to help us. It was to help teach DNS, right? Help us learn DNS, right? All along.
You're funny. My plan was to not do what just happened.
Something though, you're being a great sport about it, and like we are all learning. So it's good.
Sorry.
It's good.
Is there a D here or not?
No.
That is okay. There is no D. Okay, so we've got that in. Next up, we need to add the IP tables. And then the final one. Okay. Now we should be able to dig web.service.console, right?
No. Did you restart system?
I did not. I'm just kidding. I did not.
Oh. Yeah, Carl, the systemctl version was 237 or something. It was pretty old. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty old. I think it was 237.
But in reality, it was just my fault. So it's cool. Systemd resolved, I believe, was it, right?
Yep. Ah! that? What do you know? It's resolving. Aren't we all happy? Now, the real trick is, can you dig API service.console? Now, we might not have configured our security group rules correctly, so here's another issue. But can you curl api.service.console port 9090? So why we're doing this is that we're on web. Yeah, and we're on web, and we want to be able to get to api.service.console, right? So this confirms it. So now let's curl web.service.console on 9090, and you'll notice that it is making the upstream call. I need the sound bites back on the stream deck. I removed them. Now, you did connect this to a load balancer, right? Or are we not going to try a load balancer?
I did. So in fact, if we go and look at it, hopefully it's healthy now. Let's go take a look. Load balancer, the web one. Actually, I need to go to target groups. The web one, it's still unhealthy. I wonder if that's because I just got it up and running though.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
Refresh that. What am I doing the health check? Oh crap! I've got the health check going to an incorrect path though. So that's why it's gonna fail.
Right.
So let's go take a look at that.
For completion. I know we're going long, but everybody, we gotta, we're already this close,
Yeah, once you've dug the hole deep enough, may as well keep digging, right?
Yeah.
So what path should we send this to for the health check? Just the...
I believe /health. Can you go back to web before we do this? Can you go back to web and can you curl web.service.console port 9090/health? Yeah.
Okay.
Health.
Nice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. Sweet. /health.
And then you are port 9090. You're port 9090. Everything's port 9090. Yep. Okay.
Port.
Okay.
Yep. Here's the target group. Okay. Cool. Hopefully I didn't change anything else in the background that we missed. I can't believe the letter D. Okay, so what do we change in here? Yep, just the health check. Oh, and then just these descriptions, so that works. All right, cool. So now hopefully this health check starts passing here in a second.
All right.
But
yeah, once it's been reset. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Healthy thinking. I don't know.
Meanwhile, I'm gonna go and see if I can just access it. Although I don't know what it would show me.
Well, if you go to that /UI, go to the DNS, the load balancer, and then you add /UI at the end of it. Well, it's timed out because it's the health check is not failing, but the health check still hasn't reset, right? So.
Why did I go see here?
Let's wait. Oh.
Nope. Still not healthy.
Targets. So question. There we go. Does it have a security group that allows communication from the load balancer to the instance?
It should. Let us go take a look. So the load balancer, where is the security group? We're allowing 80 inbounds, but we need to look at the client one. The client one's allowing traffic on 9090 from other clients, but not from the load balancer. So that is the problem. Here we go. All right, let me put that in. Calling to the client around 9090. What do I want to rename this? Oh, console client. We'll just say LB because otherwise we're gonna be here naming stuff forever. So to the console client, and then from the load balancer, yes, this is
the load balancers. Both load balancers are to the same security group. or joined in the same security group, or are they different security groups?
Sorry, say that again.
So there's 2 load balancers, right? One for console and one for web. Are they both in the same security group?
This one is for the client node. So this rule, and I'm thinking out loud. I'm not just so. This is saying that the console client security group TCP traffic on port 9090 from the load balancer security group. And the same load balancer security group is actually being used by both, because both are just allowing traffic from 80 and 443.
Okay, got it. I was just wondering. Okay.
Yeah. Console clients, allow traffic from load balancer to console clients for fixed service.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, cool. That is the problem. Should be the problem, although we have been down that road before and it has been completely different. So
it's okay. You know something though, it was impressive. You know, we learned a lot about debugging DNS, and we went down a couple paths. I consider it a good day. We now have like basically a bunch of people testing out the different configs on various systemd versions, and we are learning all sorts of things. Apparently it's different for every systemd version. Not every, but a number of them. So that's also something to consider.
Just double checking that these got through. They did. So this should start hitting healthy here soon. Yep, now it's healthy, which means this
Can you
works.
go /UI at the end of it? If it wants to do that. There we are. Surprise!
Is this real? Is this real? Is that actually up?
Yep. So now you've configured service discovery.
Ah! I need that little
enough,
permit. He's just like flailing around.
I know. Weirdly enough, the service discovery piece, which is the registration, was like, I think the more straightforward of it. I think it was the DNS shenanigans that really got to us.
Yeah, and not reading the the names correctly. We can keep being nice about it, but I accept the fact that was really.
No, but you did great. You did great. All right, so folks. All right. In summary, we deployed sample services to 2 different virtual machines. We registered each of the services on the virtual machines to the console clients, and the console clients added the service registration of web and API. Yeah. We then proceeded to configure each virtual machine to resolve the DNS interface to console, so that we could do such a thing as, let's say, the service name .service.console. And we were able to deploy the 2 services, connect to each other, and have them discover through console, basically console DNS interface. So we got that. That's good.
Yeah.
How does it feel, Cole?
I won't lie. There was one point where the thought passed my mind. I was like, give up, Cole. You won't find it. But we found it. For my own clarification, the granular code steps, though, were get your service, make a systemd file for it so that it starts up, register the service with console, and then after that, pick your poison here on the, where is it? The DNS aspect. We selected systemd resolve setup. And when you actually type these correctly, this actually goes very smoothly. The only other shenanigan we needed to deal with was just a couple firewall rules with security groups, and that was it.
Yep. Cool. All right. Well, you got that. And I'm going to say next time we turn this on its head and we do it all with service mesh instead.
Yeah, that sounds good. We'll do that. I'll go ahead and update the repo to have this stuff, to reflect this stuff where we are, so that we can just have a good starting point for next time.
Yeah. Thank you all for tuning in. We appreciate our wonderful community for helping out and debugging with us and all the tips. And all the experts who did get on and typed in commentary and explanations. We appreciate it. On the next one, we're streaming first and third Fridays, so we'll probably be back in September. All the very best, and we'll see you next time.